So the first thing you're going to want to do is lay down this footprint right here. So this is just two triangles, a square, another triangle, and then this is just a raised square like this. So that's going to be the footprint of this entire base. So it's the most important part to get right. So the first thing we're going to do is place down our TC. We want our TC right in this triangle right here. So right up against the corner like that. And then you're going to want to place a half wall like this. And then we're going to close it in with another window like this. And whatever materials you have at the time, I recommend upgrading, but I'm going to show this to the maximum ability of the base. So I'm going to do armored for the TC area right here. So the whole area is going to be armored like this. It needs to be sheet metal because the glass window that you place on it, these, only, it's just the equivalent of a stone wall. So it doesn't really matter what material this is, as long as it's stone or higher. But that's secured like that. The next thing we're going to do is upgrade all of these pieces to armor. So now that they're all armored, we're going to add our walls here. Like so. And they're all going to get armored as well. This is going to be the core of the base. And then obviously ceilings, all of that, just like this. Make them all armored. Like that. And now we're going to add some frames for garage doors, and we're going to grab our sleeping bags. So you can fit around 4 in here, in this little square right here. I recommend doing it like this. Just like so. So you can get all 4. I don't know how well I place them. Sometimes you can get a campfire in the middle like this. And then the next thing we're going to do is place a small box right in the corner like this. And we're going to place another small box. I don't know if we might need to place the garage door first, so let's do that first. Let's throw 2 garage doors here. Right in this area right here. So that we'll grab ourselves some code locks like this. There we go. Throw our code locks on the doors. Now we're good. We're running as well, right? Throw that in there. Okay, so now the core of the base is pretty much done. We can also add another garage door right here, because we're going to add one at some point. Just do it now. And this is going to be the main loop of the base right on top here. So to do the main loop, we're going to add one wall just like this. We're going to do a half wall, and then ceilings like that, and then delete the half wall. Now we have this little storage here. And this is all going to go to sheet metal. If you go to armor, if you have enough material, I'm not going to armor it. If you really have that much, you can throw that out to armor, because this is going to be one of the main loot rooms, so main loot's always good to have armored. And we're going to throw a bunch of boxes in here, so they fit around 4 in here. Just like this. Just like that. And throw our door on, and that. Yeah. So the next thing we're going to do, now that we have that part done, is come up here and add our ceilings here. Now actually what we're going to do is have these walls open. Door frames there like that. And we're going to sheet metal these, and we're going to always armor these ceilings actually. Prevent the top-down raid. And that wall's not going to be there. So now we have this so far. This is pretty much it for now. Just like so. And the next thing we're going to do is grab 2 vending machines, throw them in here. Just like extra storage. finally, we're going to go ceiling, and we're going to go another ceiling, and we're going to add a wall like this, like that. So we'll have 2 more boxes up there as well. And then we're going to just sheet metal it, and all of these will go to sheet metal as well. This will be on there, and this will be on there as well. These will be on there as well. So this is part of the core. This is a foundation, so you don't need to worry about half of it under here. This will be on there as well. And we're going to grab 2 more boxes here. Throw them up like this. You can always add, if you want to maximize your storage, you can grab some small boxes. If you place your big boxes correctly, you can get some boxes like this. These aren't recommended because then it's harder to grab these, so I'm not even going to bother adding them. But that's that storage just like that. You have these, and then what I would recommend doing is grabbing some more sleeping bags and placing as many as you can in this room, so 2 to 3. And then naming these loot rooms, main loot, and then naming the ones down below to TC room, so then because TC room is really only here to have access to TC, but this is where you're probably going to want to spawn in case of an online raid, or if you want to leave your base quickly. So you want to put the names of the bags there. So this is the core of the base pretty much done, as you can see. Just like so. So this is where it gets a little more complicated. The first thing we're going to want to do is add our triangles just like this. We're going to go 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, just like that. And we're going to sheet metal all of these, just like this. If I can actually hit it, there we go. And we're going to add walls around, just like this. This is all going to be honeycombing on the back side of the base right here. This is honeycombing to sheet metal. If you don't have enough sheet metal, you can just start with stone, or leave it as stone. Depending on how you do it. And then do the same thing. Now we have that sheet metaled up. So the honeycomb in the back of the base is done for now. The next thing we're going to want to do is work on this area of the base. This is where it gets slightly more complicated. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get the footprint of your base down. Obviously there's a triangle here, and we're going to go 2 squares just like this. And then we're going to go triangles here, and square leading to the back over here. Just like that. After that, 2 more triangles like this. And we're going to add walls like this now. So now we have this. Then we're going to go with more triangles. Just like this. Keep them low down. And now we have this, as you can see. And we'll go a square there, and a square there. So right now we have this footprint. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is add our walls all the way around. Just like so. And then we're going to have the door here. So we'll go that, and then that. And then we can really quickly come. We'll grab our doors quickly. I'll throw those out. And then we'll throw them on quickly. So 1 facing in, 1 facing out. And then the shop. Okay, so now we're at this stage of the base. So this is where it becomes something more complicated, because there's going to be a ramp that is placed right here, or a roof, but it's going to be placed last out of everything, because placing it first will block other places to be able to build that. So if you, as you can see, you can still place it. It's just a little hard to get the placement right. There we go. But we're not going to do that just yet. First of all, these two squares on the edge of the base here are the loot rooms, the same as all the other ones. So we'll have the half wall and then make your shelf like this. Then it's the same size loot room. So you will big boxes in each corner, but you want to place them all the way on the edge because you can maximize storage that way. So we go 1, 2, and then if you place them right, you should be able to have in the garage door first as well. If you place them right, you can have boxes here as well to have even more storage. Like so. Just like that. So we have that. And we'll run over here. And we'll do this. Place our garage door down. More boxes. Place them like this. So now we're done. One there, one over there. A little more secondary, we're going to drop off those rooms. So for the next step, we're going to put the wall here, the door frame there, and we'll jump up like this. So this is going to be the way to the top of the base, just like this. So we're going to jump up like this. Now the next thing you're going to want to do is place a ceiling here, like this, and place a wall here. And with that, we're going to sheet metal this wall. We don't want these two floors to be connected. So now we have this. This is where we're at right now. So, the next stage of the base, we're going to come all the way over here. And we're going to start placing our ceilings in this area. Like so. Now we have our ceilings. Now this part of the base is going to be a wall here. This wall is going to need to be sheet metaled. Just like this, because this is where the way to the next level is going to be. And then on this side of the base, there should be a ceiling here. Now this part of the base, if the jump up is going to be right here, like I said, we don't want access to this. So this is going to be blocked off with a sheet metal wall like that. So there's no access to that at all, and then we're going to place another wall just like this. So now we have the same thing pretty much on both sides, just like that. And the next thing we're going to do, grab our furnaces. We're going to throw 3 furnaces in each of these corners. Just like this, and you have to make sure put them in tight so we can have this, just like this. You have 3 furnaces in there, just like that. This wall, we want to rotate this, keep those protected, and we're going to shoot just like that. So now we have our little furnace room, and this, obviously, we're going to make another room for even more storage. So we're going to do the same thing as all the other loot rooms. Place our boxes. See if I can place a large door. This is a hardware box placement. There we go. And then do the same thing up here. And obviously any walls or ceilings that you have extra metal, this giant excavator's OP right now, you can just upgrade those. But I'm not going to do the entire base sheet metal. Now, on this side, we're going to wall this off, and we're going to armor this wall. And we're also going to add armor to this wall as well. Okay? So we have those two armored, and we're going to sheet metal these floors, and we're going to sheet metal this as well. And then we're going to add frames here. Just like this. Find them. There we are. And then finally, so now we have this kind of main floor, main area of the base completed pretty much. You can always sheet metal these extra walls, but that's what it looks like for now. So that main area is completed. Now we're going to move on to the next floor. Now for this next floor, we're going to go all the way up. So what we're going to do right now is add the jump up all the way to the top of the base. I'm just going to repeat what I'm doing here a couple of times. Just like this. And we're going to metal everything in here. So it's going to jump up. We don't want this being accessed easily. And then this as well. We're going to add doors, not like that. Here's our doors. So now we have this. This wall is going to stay open. Just like so. Now the next thing we're going to do is add this. We're going to sheet metal this ceiling here. Sheet metal these walls. And sheet metal that ceiling. And we're going to repeat that same thing on this side right here. And that's completed. Now we're going to add this ceiling right here. We're going to armor this ceiling. Just like so. And we're going to do the same thing we did on the first floor. Except on this part right here, we're going to have a ceiling like that. So this is like this. Walls like that. And then add our ceiling. So the base looks just like this. And then, of course, we're finally going to come on this side over here, and we're going to add our ramp. This. We're going to armor that. And we're going to grab our ramp. And this is not going to be easy to place. Sometimes you can try and like get the positioning right. It's always hard to place these. So we can always, if you can find a way up here, you can have a boost or something. There's always there we go. So you want to place it from up here usually, and we're going to armor this. You can have a friend boost you up. You can use something and then pick it up, but Sometimes it's a bit of a pain, but you'll figure it out eventually. So now we have access to this, and then there's a wall here, and this is going to stay on the ceiling. It's going to be sheet metal. So now we have this completely cut off from the entire base, as you can see. So the difference is now we come up here, and then this is the second floor, just like so. If you don't want people pickaxing through this or jackhammering, you can armor it, just like that. So now, once again, we're going to continue building our loot rooms. We're going to do the same thing we did on the other floors, right over here. Boxes. And do the same thing up here. Obviously, that you can do better. Place the cars fast. There we go. So now we have that loot room completed. And right here, what we're going to do, didn't guess it already, let's get ourselves an auto turret. Place this auto turret. You want it somewhere in the middle, not too close to this pillar up here, but somewhere in the middle. Somewhere like so. You can grab whatever gun. I'd recommend a bolty with a bunch of bullets. Just throw that in there. So now we have that. And if we need to close the turret, you can open this, close the door. That'll cover kind of the front door. It'll get a good amount of range. And then we'll come here, and we'll throw down the same loot room right here. Get our garage door going. Obviously, I don't think I placed those boxes far enough back, but I'm just going to leave them for now. I think you guys get the idea of how to build these loot rooms. You can see this box doesn't fit here because this box is not far enough against the wall, probably. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And you may think it's not necessary, but actually these boxes add a whole big box in. What is that? A big box in a row? Yeah, an extra big box in a row. Yeah. So these are actually really useful. So we'll do that, and then just like this. This base does have a lot of garage doors, but you obviously don't have to place all these doors down at first. I mean, they'll slowly come in as you get more gear throughout the wipe. But I'm just going to add all of them for now, because it is important. Fly out. So this is what the base looks like now. And the next thing I'm going to do really fast is we're going to add our stone honeycombing to this area right here. The backside of this base. To do this, it's just a square, two triangles and a square. And then the same thing on this side. And then these thing, you place your wall in the middle like this. There's another one. So this is what the base looks like pretty much right now. Pretty solid. Pretty good. So the next thing we're going to do is add one more floor, and then we're going to go on to the shooting floor. So obviously we'll do the same thing up right here. I'll do like this. Like this. Just like so. Just like so. There we go. And then once again, we're going to add our layer all the way around as well. It's going to be slightly different than the last floor because the middle is now done. It's not going to go up any higher. So now we're going to do this. So obviously, the squares that are going to be honeycombing are going to stay honeycombing actually. So all of this is going to continue to be honeycomb. Close all of this. Just like so. Just like that, guys. And then we're going to add even more. Just like so. And then we're going to add our ceiling. And that will be pretty much finished up. Beautiful, just like that. Okay. So now we just have this main area of the base pretty much left. Now this center right here is actually going to be closed off instead of being continued off. So we're going to shut the jump up there, and the reason that we have this ramp here is you can add a shotgun trap, boxes, things like that. I like to do just a small box right here with a set in it, just like that. But you can also add a shotgun trap or some type of turret or something like that. But for now, that's all this is going to be. For this, we're going to add a triangle. So now we just have this. Pretty much. Okay? So for this next step, what we're going to do is very, very important. Because this right here is going to jump up. Just like that. That's going to be the next jump up, and this side right here is going to be closed off. Just like that. And this is going to be important for later on. We're going to add now. And we're going to close this off with everything. So like I said, this is going to be the next jump up. You don't need this right here. That doesn't need to be on right here. I don't know why I keep on this. And like this. Then we have this little wraparound right here to this little triangle right here, which we're actually going to close off. There's always someone on the server spamming C4 somewhere, so that's going to be in the background for a bit, sadly. Anyways, the next thing we're going to do is close this off. And all of these ceilings in the main core right here, this main little footprint that I showed you, get all of that sheet metal, of course. And then for the next layer, or for the next jump up here, will be the shooting floor, but for now, we're going to work on in here. So, like I showed you guys before, this room right here is going to be our electricity. So we're going to come back here, grab a large battery for now. I'm just going to throw this in. It's never really sure the direction, but we'll do this. And then, if you guys want, you can do a box in here with some wiring tools and such, and then you can throw some sleeping bags in here as well, just like that. So So you have this little electricity room for now. And we're gonna draw the garage doors off. And then we have this wrap around, and we're gonna grab our code locks as well. Continue. Add our frames just like this. And these obviously aren't as important as but I'm going to add everything to work on. You guys obviously don't have years right. So for this area of the base, I like to fill this with these mixing tables. They're obviously very useful. So there's 2 right in there. And then we can probably get a few more in here. It's kind of hard to place these things. Just like that. And that's 3. 3 is usually enough. I mean, you could add another one right in this wall here like this. There's 4 mixing tables. And you could finish it off with a few furnaces. Like that. So then we have a couple of mixing tables, 4, some furnaces, and that's pretty much all for that area. So now, before I move on to the next floor, I'm just going to add a few extra things that you can add there at the base. Obviously, like things that I didn't include, like, for example, you have like your repair bench or something. You can find a place on the side so you can see, like, for this floor, for example, if there's this square, you can throw our repair bench right here. And throw this, and then we'll add another furnace. Or 2. And then we'll come over here. Grab our research bench, grab our workbenches right here. We'll come over here, we'll throw our research bench right here. And then we'll throw our tier 2 workbench right here. So now we have this kind of layered with more stuff that you might use throughout the wipe. And we'll head on down. So now we have this floor, you can add even more stuff similar. I'll throw the tier 1 workbench. Obviously you can change it to positioning. Most importantly is the tier 3. Now the tier 3 is a little bit of a pain because it's really big, and if you look down here, we don't really want it down here because this area is where all the bags are and there's not the actual loot down there. So for the tier 3, we're going to throw this right up against the wall right here. Just like this. Move on in and out. Wide garage door right here. Boom. Just like that. Now we have our workbench here. And obviously, just like that. Okay, and after that, guys, we're going to come over here. Garage. And obviously, this garage door. But I'm gonna have to move my bench because I forgot to place it. I'm gonna stick to the boom, and boom. So obviously, and then you can continue doing things like this throughout the base. So if you look through, like if you want a fridge, you throw a fridge right here. If you want some beds for quicker respawn, if you didn't know chairs give you 100% comfort, you can throw chairs right here, and you can grab, where is it, some barbecues. Barbecue there. For even more storage, you can grab a box, throw a box under here, and then you could have some rugs here for some extra, comfort. You can do the same thing on this side, and if you want, you can layer your main room with rugs. Give you extra comfort. things like that, you know, you can add throughout the base. I mean, you can add beds for quicker respawn, but I'll have designated bedrooms. You can add drop boxes, so if you're playing and you find some drop boxes throughout the wipe, you can grab them. You can just place them, so you can have stuff like this. It's easy for storage. You can have things like that. It really depends on where you want it and how much that you have. It's not really the core design of the base, so I'm not really going to spend too much time on those smaller little things. What I will do, though, is move on to the next and final part of the base, which is going to be the shooting floor. So, for the shooting floor, the first thing we're going to want to do is worry about our outer peak downs. Now, this can be hard for some people, so to get this right, it may take a little bit, but we'll get there. This is what we're going for, this kind of small gap that becomes hard to fall through. Two square ceilings like that, and then we're gonna go with kind of the similar thing here, just like that. Triangles like that. It's one side of the base, and we'll flip just like that. For this side, triangles just like that. So now we only have these kind of two little areas left. Triangles, triangles, and finally some more triangles. So this is what it looks like. If you need to pause the video here and copy this exactly, this is kind of the footprint. Okay, so moving on from here, what we're going to want to do is work on this center area. Now for this, the same thing here. We are going to put this floor up later. This is all going to go together. There are frames, and a right door, and finally for this part. So this is where we're actually going to leave and go into the outer peak downs, but we're going to have a little more than that. So we're going to actually all of these here look like that, and we're going to have the bottom right here facing earth. And then we're going to grab a bunch of these reinforced glass frames and throw them all around here. Now I'm putting them on every wall. You don't have to, because some of them are going to get covered up by lockers. And what else is going to have beds? So this really depends on how many sets you have and how many lockers you want to place down. But I'm going to throw down a good amount here. So we're going to go with a locker right here, a locker right here, and a locker right here. And these will be the beds for upstairs. So these maybe, you can't really fit two in here, but that's okay. We'll throw in one just like that, another just like that, and another just like that. Just like so. And then finally, I'm gonna cover this off. Like that. And this will be the next floor. Now, for the outer peak downs, it can be quite a pain due to stability and things like that. So we're going to grab our frames, and we're going to go all the way around, just like this. These are never fun to place down. And they usually have stability problems. So I'm able to place rooms on certain walls, so to prevent that happening, you usually have to add frames just like this. Just kind of I mean, it really depends on the stability of the base. That makes it easier or harder, but if you can see, I'm just throwing some sort of framed some sort of frame structure around. You have to be careful not to have frames in these corners because your walls are going to be there. And this frame doesn't really need to be here probably, so you can see our frames are going around like this. It's the same exact thing on both sides. You could see, I can't really add a frame here because this needs to be a door frame. And other than that, it's pretty good. You may not need all of these, you may only need some. But I recommend experimenting and making sure that your stability won't break your wall as you place it. So the next thing we're going to do is go around the base. So if we start from this door here, the one that goes in, we're going to come out of this door and we're going to put some of these triangles may not let you do it. So as you can see, this one right here, it won't work because this triangle is facing the wrong way. So we're going to switch it around. And like that. And we're going to go around the base and we're going to do that with everyone that we need to. It may not be everyone, but anyone that needs fixing we're going to change as it goes. This right here is not going to work, so we're going to switch this around. And we're just going to go around and we're going to continue doing the same thing that I just did before. Just like so. I showed you guys. Now the reason that I showed you that footprint up above before is just to get a general sense of what the shape is going to look like. If I showed it to you like this, it's kind of more of a mess, so I like to do that and then change them as I go. If you want to copy this one down as well, you can. But from here, all of our doors should place on perfectly. So we're going to go around placing all of our doors now. These are actually all on backwards. On my wall rotated ones, I'll switch them as I go. Definitely don't place them backwards though. You want the soft side facing you. Like these ones right here. So go around the doors. You have to make sure these doors are closed off. Or people can open them and get in the base. Okay. So now we have all of our doors. Now we're gonna, any place you can put a window, put one. So we're gonna go around the entire altitude now. We're gonna place windows right there. Just like that. Okay, and then finally, we're gonna come in here. Don't add weapon durability, whatever that does, and we're gonna throw our ceiling down. Multiple places we can do that. That's what the frames are for. Come up, double check. Now, as you guys can see, this is what the base looks like. That shooting floor is complete. Now obviously, you can test these out. You can't fall through the bottom, and the same goes for the top. Can't get in. Okay, now we'll move to here. And we'll grab our vertical embrasures, not horizontal. And we'll throw it on just like this. braziers all the way around. And now our shooting floor is completed. This is what the base looks like now. Shooting floor goes all the way around. This is what the top looks like. Of course, it's going to look a little messy, but it's the only way to get this to work properly. And from here, we're going to add our roofs on top of the base. So to do your roofs, it's pretty simple. We're going to start on this edge right here with these circle triangles. And we're just going to place our first one here. And we're going to go around, pretty much go around the edge, placing the roofs. Just follow like this. Pretty much just follow the edge. Exactly what I'm doing. We're going to go all the way around the entirety of the base. Place these. Just like so. And now we have that. So we have our roof and the base now it looks like this. It's pretty nice. And then finally, we're going to finish this area right here. I'm doing this. This will be our jump up to the next and final floor. I need to sheet metal that. We're going to do that. We're going to get 2 double sheet metal doors. Place them outward. The base, just like so, and then obviously, since this base doesn't include electricity, we'll add the windmills. So do our windmills. So line in this square, and we're going to come over this square right here. Do the just like that. We'll draw our center. We'll do the exact same thing. In case you don't know how to get up, you can use nets to get all the way around. You basically just throw them like that. And then come on top here. The placement can be hard sometimes. There's one. And there's 2 windmills. We can add a 3rd one here or a 4th one there if we really needed, but that's a solid amount of power plus solar panels. The only thing I really didn't show is the turrets. So to do turrets, if you want to protect a mini copter, you could have turrets on top of the base like this, or some in the corner like this. And then there's obviously one there, and you can add more in your base as well. And then you can have wiring. And you can, if you don't know how to wire, I'll make a video on that soon. But basically, what you want to do is come up here, convert this, power out. And we really want these going straight to the battery of the base, which is right here. So we'd have this, and if you want to wire more than one thing, out of fly mode. Put the power in, please. Like that. And if you want to wire more than one thing, we'll come grab our roof line, throw them on the wall like this. And what you do is you connect your windmills into these. You take the combined power, put it in for now, and then we'll have this. And we'll come down here to the TC room, or the main loop here, right against this wall. We're going to switch. We're going to grab the battery. Put it. Should be in here. Here it is. We're going to grab this power out spot. These can be quite hard to grab sometimes. We'll get it. I hope. Why is this? Oh, there we go. There's the power out. Let's run down here. And then come to right over here where I put the switch in. Put this in the input, the output. Gonna run over here. And up. Put that in our turret. We'll turn the switch on. And there you go. And you have the turret working. So, that is pretty much the entirety of the base. Now you can add a lot more things. Like I said with electricity, you can add turrets all over the base. You can add a lighting system if you had ceiling lights, and you could add some computer stations throughout the base. So stuff like that. Those are just more small things that you can add that I'm not too worried about. And then obviously large furnaces in order to find if you have a compound, but those aren't as important because the idea of this video is just to get the foundation and shell of the base. So we'll go through it one more time. You come in, you have your loot rooms. This is the way up. You come up here, you have main loot, and you have your TC. And then you have the second floor over here, more loot, your workbenches, batteries. You have all of that, the alchemy stations, and then the next way up here, you have your lockers and your shooting floor, and you have the top of the base, which is the roof. And that's pretty much going to do it for the video, guys. If you want to upgrade any more walls to armored or anything like that, you can. The last thing I'll show you guys is the cost of this base. This will calculate exactly what I did. So if we come over here, see it'll be around 16,000 wood, a little over a box of stone, 71,000, and then 12k metal frags, which is around 2 rows, and then high qual, which is 528. So it's decently expensive. This is a 2 to 3 man, could be 4. There's the upkeep, not horrible. It's doable. That's 24 hours of upkeep, obviously. Obviously, this is upgraded a decent amount. It may not be that expensive for you. But overall, that's pretty much the base, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. If you want to see more or a V2 of this base, any more Rust building videos, let me know in the comments, and I'll continue doing stuff like this. If you have any feedback as well, always let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and that's it.